Welcome to the channel. Help me hit 600 subscribers. Now let's go to the video. Within the Saudi transfer strategy, as Jota moves from Celtic, just the beginning of the desire to make it one of the best leagues in the world. More young players like Jota are set to follow, and the Saudis are now doing a lot more than handing out money to semi-retired and unwanted people. Cristiano Ronaldo, the first great symbol of the Saudi Pro League's conquest of sporting power, arrived on New Year's Day. On June 1st, the Portuguese international spoke about who would join him. If they are coming, big players and big names, young players, old players, they are very welcome, Ronaldo said. Because if that happens, the league will improve. There is no longer an if about Saudi Arabia's attack on the economic hegemony of European football clubs. The most relevant questions are how many, for how long, and to what end goal. In the 30 days since Ronaldo discussed the future of the Saudi Pro League, Karim Benzema, N'Golo Kante, Ruben Neves, Kalidou Koulibaly and Edouard Mendy have signed contracts to join him there. That same month, Ronaldo's rival of nearly 2 decades, Lionel Messi, and another former Real Madrid teammate, Luka Modric, turned down the biggest financial offers of their careers to play for the kingdom. Had Messi and Modric accepted, next season's Saudi Pro League would have featured the winners of the last 14 Ballon d'Ors. All other winners of football's top individual award have retired. However, Ronaldo is 38 years old and damaged his image by forcing a departure from Manchester United. Messi is 36 years old and has chosen the Apple-assisted riches of Major League Soccer over the challenge of leading Barcelona back to Champions League glory. Benzema and Modric are 35 and 37, Koulibaly and Mendy are part of Chelsea's latest attempt to clean house. If the Saudis are just handing out money to unwanted semi-retirees, are they really a threat to European clubs? Yes. Because the plan is more ambitious than that. Last Saturday, Al Hilal raised their record SPL transfer fee to €55 million, £47.3 million, by signing Wolverhampton captain Ruben Neves. The 26-year-old Portugal midfielder is coveted by several Champions League clubs. Bernardo Silva has an offer to follow his teammate to Saudi Arabia in a deal that would far exceed that fee. The 28-year-old has just added the Champions League to his collection of 5 of the last 6 Premier League titles. Silva is at the peak of his career, playing for the most resourced club in world football and has competing offers from Manchester City, Paris Saint-Germain and Barcelona. The Saudis are competing to sign the sport's most talented midfielder. And they are intentionally taking on 2 other Middle Eastern countries that invest in sports, Abu Dhabi and Qatar, in the process. Whether Silva decides to join the SPL or not, the offer is a statement of intent. The Saudi strategy also involves picking high-performing talent from Europe's second division. The €25 million fee Celtic agreed for Jota will see the Scottish champion's second-highest goal-scorer last season move to Saudi Arabia aged 24, just a year after the Portugal under-21 international completed a transfer full Benfica. Before the Saudi transfer window closes at the end of September, there will be more young players like Jota with a market in Europe joining the Pro League. And more established names following Ronaldo's trajectory. Among a series of moves under negotiation are an attempt to take Neymar, still the most expensive footballer on the planet by transfer fee, from PSG and an effort to persuade recent Champions League winner Roberto Firmino to join him in Saudi Arabia. Neymar is seeking an annual salary of €100 million. The question of whether that number represents value will be taken by the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, the sovereign wealth fund that owns 80% of Newcastle United and recently struck an investment deal with the PGA Tour. Chaired by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and headed by Newcastle President Yasser Al Rumayyan, the PIF has been tasked with overseeing unprecedented spending on supercharging a Middle Eastern league. Early last month, the PIF announced it would acquire 75% of shares in 4 of Saudi Arabia's most important clubs, Ronaldo's Al Nassr, champions Al Ittihad, coached by Nuno Espirito Santo, Al Ahly and Al Hilal. In addition, NEOM, a company wholly owned by the PIF, would run second-tier Al Sukar, state-owned oil company Aramco would take the helm of Al Qadissa, while 2 other state entities would administer Al Diriyah and Al Ula. Although the accumulated investment in football represents a small fraction of the approximate $700 billion, £550.6 billion, of assets under management PF claims on the fund's official website, which represents a significant soft power play by the Crown Prince. Saudi Arabia's unelected head of state has noted the economic and political gains secured by the purchase of European clubs by Qatar and Abu Dhabi, and the 2022 World Cup, and wants to surpass them. Officially, spending on elite players, coaches and executives away from Europe is part of MBS's Vision 2030 plan to diversify the country's economy away from oil. Their ministries also speak to the health benefits of world-famous sportsmen, inspiring the people of the kingdom to exercise more. What Saudi Arabia is also buying is a powerful presence in the most popular sport on the planet. In conversations with players and agents, PIF executives talk of establishing the Saudi Pro League as a top 10 domestic competition in short order. In last month's interview, Ronaldo suggested that, if they continue to do the work they want to do here in the next 5 years, the Saudi League could be one of the top 5 in the world. MBS wants its own World Cup, ideally by 2034. Saudi Arabia will host this year's FIFA Club World Cup and has spoken to the world body about co-investing in the expanded 32-team tournament starting in 2025. Gianni Infantino sees this tournament as a precursor to a global Super League, which could draw eyeballs and revenue from the UEFA Champions League. It is, in short, an interesting time for Saudi Arabia to establish themselves as football's biggest money pot, and put those funds under the administration of a state-controlled organization. Those in football who have worked with the PIF emphasize the diligence with which funds are used. While Al Ramayan executives accept that coaxing talent to switch from Europe to the Pro League involves paying above the market rate, a cap is placed on the premium that the PIF will authorize in any deal. By taking stakes in 4 big clubs at once, the sovereign wealth fund can prevent them from bidding against each other on salaries and fees. And should Newcastle want to bring 1 or 2 of the Saudi Pro League's new recruits back to the European Champions League in a window or 2? Well, then the PIF would be effectively negotiating with itself. Hope you enjoyed the video. What did you think of the video? Subscribe to the channel and leave your opinion in the comments.